generally the feedback with respect to the changes that have happened over the past year has been positive. A number of clients have mentioned and have noticed the vast improvements of where the agency was, say, a year ago to where we are now. There's been a real concerted effort to restructure the agency. We now have a employment services unit, a training and development unit that is more ably staffed. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's completely sufficiently staffed, because of course there is always more need than there are resources. But I think what we've done with respect to having people, we've doubled the complement in the number of employment services officers. So now we have 4 officers, as well as a manager of that unit and an assistant employment services officer. And on the training and development side, we have a manager and an outreach coordinator. So we not only offer programs centrally at the office located above the Butterfield Bank at the Midtown Plaza, we also go to all of the districts on a monthly basis as well. Because again, it's the persons that would need the services most may not necessarily have the ability or take the time to come into central Georgetown. So we recognize that there are needs in the outer districts as well. And so we actually go to the communities to facilitate that job registration as well as training exercises as well. So I think from that perspective, there has been a real positive move in terms of the services that are offered. But we obviously are still continuing to develop and to expand the services, but also to streamline and restructure in some instances. And an example of that is the NWDA has developed a new intake and assessment program, which basically looks at each person looking to register and to make the determination whether or not those persons or that person is sufficiently self-reliant to be able to access the jobs, access the services directly without actually having to have an employment services officer assigned to that person. And for those persons that may need more assistance, that may need more hand-holding, and that may need more direct interventions, those persons would then be assigned to an employment services officer, and a professional development plan would be developed for those persons, and then they would be responsible then to take advantage of the training opportunities offered to them in order to access the job referral services. So by actually doing this kind of an assessment up front of each of the types of clients, we also at the NWDA hope that that will help to better align the resources that we do have with those persons that need those resources, because some people that register, they don't need to have the actual face-to-face or interface with an employment services officer. They may actually have already the tools to develop their resume and to apply for jobs directly. They just need to access the system to be able to know which jobs are registered. And for those persons, they can self-refer. And so those are the independent clients, as opposed to those ones that may need to have more work and to actually have a structured professional development plan dealing with the barriers that they may present with, which helps to stymie their efforts to get a job.